Hello again, this is SF Giants Fat Mike coming to you today with Iron Fist Season 2 reaction video. Okay guys, I just stayed up all night binge watching Iron Fist Season 2. I wanted to give my thoughts just to preface. I have been up all night, so if I get a little loopy, forgive me. This season was just so good. I wanted to catch my initial thoughts, reactions, and talk about 3 plot points. Okay, so there's going to be 3 things I want to talk about. Or there was going to be 3 things I was going to talk about, and the tiredness has now narrowed that to 2. I am sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm a little loopy right now. Okay, I know what the 3 are. So I'm going to put the heavy spoiler warning, guys. This is a reactions video. Normally, people might want to be general in their overview. I'm not going to be. I'm tired. They're going to slip no matter what I try to do right now. So I just want to get this out there. Want to get my initial thoughts and reactions and whatnot. There's 3 things I want to talk about. And one's the general season. 2 was the major plot twist in this season. There's a totally major plot twist here that I absolutely loved. And I really hope, anyway, I'll cover that part when I get there. And part 3 is why the heck does the Netflix Marvel all of a sudden want to kill their whole entire season on the epilogue? I'll get to that point eventually. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is the overall season. I'm not going to go into too many spoilers throughout the season, individual spoilers, but I am going to, again, spoilers, guys. I'm going to spoil the main plot point here. So you've been warned for like the 4th time. So I loved this season. I loved how it started. You had Colleen Wing and Danny Rand. Hold on, guys. I kind of got it. There we go. Sorry. I got to touch the screen every once in a while or the screen recorder will turn off when I talk over pictures. So I loved how it started. That first episode was a great setup episode. Sometimes when shows do that setup episode where they take a whole episode, just kind of introduce you to all the plot threads and whatnot, it can kind of be boring. It can kind of be exposition. I'll get it out, guys. Sorry again. Remember, I've been up all night. Exposition dump. I mean, my favorite series of all time is the Fate series. Specifically, the anime series by Ufotable, Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, and Limited Blade Works. They're the first episodes of those 2 seasons. Both are exposition dumps, and they both bored me the first time I watched them, where I cut out like 20 minutes in. Turns out they're like my favorite anime ever. Maybe even more so than Dragon Ball, and I love Dragon Ball. But I cut out the first time I watched them. Here, they kind of do an exposition dump first episode, but it worked. I liked it. Maybe not everybody likes it, but I liked it. So I'm not going to go episode by episode or anything, but I really liked the arc they put on Danny, Colleen, all the main characters. I liked some of the callbacks. I liked a lot of what they did. Okay. I like also how they had the main villain in this. Again, major spoilers. Davos. He actually lived up to the hype. He was a very good villain. Kind of came off as mustache twirling towards the end. However, they set him up just enough where you could see another major spoiler. You can see the fact that the power of the Iron Fist was kind of warping his mind a little bit. He was kind of going crazy with power. He was already kind of crazy. He was already kind of out there. But once he took the power of the Iron Fist from Danny, you can kind of see him slowly go on that progression. And then all of a sudden he just falls off a cliff. When somebody turns him down for protection. Yeah. And that speaking of that plot point, the whole, they introduced this thing in the series where the Iron Fist, the heart of the dragon or whatever, can get transferred from person to person, require some ritual, yada, yada, yada. Won't bore you with the details. I like how it happened. I liked the menace that created, because you kind of figured something like that was going to happen with Davos. Although the one thing I did not like, because they didn't ever bring it up, at the end of Iron Fist Season 1, they had Madame Gao there talking to Joy and Davos. Oh, no. It was Davos and Joy were talking. And then you had Madame Gao in the background, if I remember correctly. Again, I've been up all night, and it's been at least a year since I've seen Iron Fist. Sorry. There we go. So I don't like that didn't pay off. But now that I'm thinking about it, I was thinking it was Madame Gao, Davos, and Joy. But it was Madame Gao who recruited Davos, who then talked to Joy. So I see where they still have that layer of separation between Madame Gao and Joy. So Joy didn't know it. And Davos isn't going to freely give that up. So that actually makes sense now that I think about it. I would have liked to see that play off, but they did a very good job this season of things paying off in the season. So they had a lot to go. If they had added that extra little plot point, it could have been bad. Also, the one thing that the Netflix Marvel shows have kind of suffered from, pacing issues. They had really good pacing, probably down to the fact that it's down to 10 episodes. Most of the initial seasons were 13 episodes, and they would always have a dry spell in the middle of the season as they're trying to get to those 13 episodes. I don't know if it was just a dry spell where things just didn't click for those few episodes, or it was just too long and they had to put too much filler. I'm guessing it's a combination of both. But here in this season, Iron Fist Season 2, pretty good pacing. I liked it. It was much improved. Other things about the main plot and just the show itself, Danny's a lot more likable this time. He actually have a lot of payoff from, he's kind of arrogant in both Defenders and Iron Fist Season 1, and a little bit in Luke Cage Season 2. He's still got the arrogant and stuff, and he hasn't kind of dealt with his own personality, his own trauma. He's, dealt with a big bad and all, but he didn't, have that personal stuff happen. This season, it happened. Danny has an excellent character arc. The Danny at the end of this, well, I'll say up to the last, quote unquote, months later epilogue, he was a better character than when he started. And I think in Iron Fist Season 1, and even, like I said, Defenders and Luke Cage Season 2, he was kind of the same character. Talking about... Alright, so I'm just going to put this out there. Daughters of the Dragon, the miniseries, at the very least, needs to happen. Colleen Wing, Misty Knight, teaming up, going on an adventure. 6 episodes, just do it. Those two, in the comics, they're a great tandem. But, Jessica Hennick, I believe her last name is, again, sorry guys, it's late. Jessica Hennick and Simone. Is it Missy Simone or anyway? The two actresses that play Misty Knight and Colleen Wing have incredible chemistry together. They click really well. I love that part. They work really well off each other. I don't know if this was just one of those things where in real life they became besties or what. They just work so well together. As much as a concept, I would have loved to have seen a Daughters of the Dragon like miniseries or full series or whatever. Seeing these two pull off the characters and their interactions, really want to see that at some point. So I'm going to save Colleen for her own arc. Misty was awesome. She's more of a side character, guest character. I love it. She's kind of taking over. Seems like she's kind of taking over the role of boy, is it Rose? Anyway, the night nurse. Wow, guys, I am so sorry. I am tired. Her name is just totally out of my head right now. I am probably going to upload this, go to sleep, and as I'm falling asleep, her name's going to hit me. Claire! There it is, Claire Temple. All right, so Claire had kind of been the glue that sticks all the shows together. I like the fact that Misty's kind of becoming that. You know, she's kind of appearing everywhere. I really liked it. Oh, and let me see. No, it doesn't let me tap. But the other character, her name is Mary Walker, I believe. Yeah, Mary Walker. I get it now. Another amazing character, new addition to the cast. Everybody else I've mentioned so far appeared in season 1 in some form or fashion. Maybe Misty Knight didn't. Susan Lucage, and I think maybe she went to the Defenders. Anyway, pretty much everybody else that has at the very least appeared in the Netflix universe up to this point. Mary Walker was a very good character. She has, I want to say I would have called it schizophrenia. She has multiple personality disorder. They called it like DID, dissociative something disorder. I can't remember the middle initial, guys, but DID, I know it kind of more as schizophrenia, I think, where you have or multiple personalities. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry for those of you that are a little closer where that disorder is more in your wheelhouse. I apologize. Whether not necessarily just yourself, but if you have friends or family that are affected by it. Like I said, I'm tired. And I don't know a whole heck of a lot what the differences between these are. I don't know if it's just getting getting relabeled, like, or what. I'm not sure, but they did a good job portraying that. They made it believable to me. I don't know how true it is. If anybody of you know, have watched this and know, feel free to let me know how they did. They at the very least made me believe it. It wasn't like one of those things where you've seen it tackled before where it's just really bad. But in this case, I liked how it worked. It was through trauma and all that stuff. So it really worked for me. I thought the actress's performance was great. I totally did not think to look up the actress's name. Okay, what else do I want to do? And the last thing I'll say about the season is all the Marvel Netflix seasons need to get a little better at their cameos. I mean, Danny Rand is having all these problems with Davos and this and that and the other. he didn't think to call up Luke Cage or Jessica Jones. They're supposed to be helping each other. Um, even if it's just a scene where you call them for advice, maybe not necessarily directly help, but advice. Given the fact that Jessica Jones is a great detective or PI or however you want to put that, again, sorry, brain not all here right now. You would think that with the way this kind of went, with a kind of a mystery, trying to put the pieces together and find out how to get from point A to point B, in some of the storylines, they really could have used that help. She's a friend. She should be on they should have exchanged numbers. So why were they not called? Netflix does the Netflix Marvel does a really, really bad job at that. Same thing with Marvel. They're starting to get better with cameos and cross-pollinating all the heroes like they should. But the Netflix ones they do a horrible job. Especially since Defenders. I mean, really, Luke Cage handled it pretty good where Iron Fist and Power Man, kind of teamed up for a little bit. So they handled it pretty good. But, you figure in Luke Cage Season 2, you'd at least have some kind of Jessica Jones. They didn't do it in Season 1. Jessica and Luke are married in the comics. I know Luke had the thing for Claire, but come on. Anyway, I don't want to complain about the other Marvel Netflix shows too bad, but yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. This, again, initial reactions, maybe on a subsequent viewings of it, I won't have as high of a opinion of it, but I really liked it. I'm not going to give it a score or anything. I'm not a reviewer. I'm not a critic. I just really enjoyed it. As a Marvel fan, it was cool to see. After having watched these Netflix Marvel shows, it really, 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 really hit all the things that I was looking for. Okay, major spoilers coming forward. Yeah, this is the one I want to go to. Okay, so since this is kind of two spoilers in one, I'll kind of introduce it. Okay, so in the series, like I mentioned, we had come to find out that the Iron Fist, the Heart of the Dragon, is transferable from human to human. Played up for a great menace with Davos, but I really like the character arc Danny went in because of this. He was, in his mind, up through the beginning of the season, he was the Iron Fist. There really wasn't a Danny Rand in there. And that's kind of part of the problems you have with Season 1, him and the Defenders, etc. He's just the Iron Fist. He doesn't have a Danny Rand. Well, guess what? In this season, Davos steals the Iron Fist, or the Heart of the Dragon, or however you want to put it. Guess what, guys? Now he's had his whole identity stripped from him. And Danny goes on this great journey. I really liked it. Maybe on subsequent viewings I'll find places where it was just, what do you call it? Where Danny's growth is forced or whatever. Initial viewing, I really liked it. I really liked how it played and all that stuff. Eventually, they got to go, especially since Davos is kind of going crazy, they got to go back and get the Iron Fist, do the ritual, and pull it out of Davos. Now, the initial thought and the whole initial training and the whole arc is that, yes, Danny's going to go get it back. But Danny comes to the realization, what I just been talking about, he's only been the Iron Fist. He's been kind of losing himself to being the Iron Fist. Excuse me there. I like that. I really like that. He comes to that realization and he's like, you know what? I don't think if I get the Iron Fist back now, I think it'll just continue to take me down that path. Colleen, I think you should take it. And initially she's hesitant, but yes, guys, maybe you can kind of tell that's actually probably not that great of a picture. But it was the first one I could find. This actually has two kind of things going on there that you guys might be able to tell. Well, Colleen Wing eventually attains the power of the Iron Fist. She's the one who becomes the vessel for the Heart of the Dragon. And it is awesome. They don't shortchange us. They kind of do a trope that I saw coming a mile away. That is to say, hey, we're going to do this transfer. He needs to be unconscious so I can take it so he doesn't resist. He, of course, gets knocked out. They don't keep him knocked out. He wakes up during the middle of the ritual to mess everything up, so it's not clean. Leads to a pretty good fight scene, though, so I'm okay with it. But eventually they win. She draws it out of him. And she becomes the newest Iron Fist. Now, I got to say, I got several things I want to cover here. I really, really enjoyed it, first of all. I really enjoyed that they went there. That is a permanent change to Danny Rand. Now, Danny Rand, in the terms of comic book characters, the Iron Fist, he is not even B-list. Before Iron Fist, he probably might not even have made C-list in terms of comic book characters. So to have this kind of major change, he's the kind of character you can do that with. And it really worked for me. Now, going into the second thing, if you'd have told me going into this season that they were going to take the power of the Iron Fist and eventually put it in Colleen Wing, I would have absolutely hated it for two reasons. First of all, again, Marvel's had a problem of forced diversity. I don't mind. Go out there, have your awesome Captain Marvels, Psylocke, Jean Greys, etc., so on and so forth. Marvel has a slew and a bevy of great female characters. I don't mind. I don't mind them getting the shine. I love Colleen Wing. I love Misty Knight. But having a female Iron Fist at the end of the season, it kind of, that would have worried me. I would have been really worried about it. That it was just some forced thing, but I loved how they pulled it off. They pulled it off because of Danny Rand's, growth. And then even with Colleen, the reason why she eventually accepts it and doesn't make Danny take it back, because she kind of goes, I need to do, she's like saying something along the lines of, I'm talking to these people about stepping up for the community, but here I am, and I'm not doing all I can for the community. So she eventually takes it and takes a more active role, as you can kind of see here. So the thing I hopefully am not going to hear about Iron Fist Season 2 is that, oh my gosh, SJW agenda, they made Iron Fist a woman, yada, yada, yada. I love that it comes in the last 3 episodes, so you get all that growth, all that arc, and the fact that she's even resisting it. And even in the last episode, you think, I was saying, okay, they have an easy out here. Davos, eventually beats her. I mean, Davos is a highly, 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 highly skilled martial artist, even without the Iron Fist, even without that extra powers, right? You can easily see, okay, he takes her down, he sucks it back into himself, so Danny's forced to then do it for himself, knock him out and draw it into himself. They could have easily taken that route. I'm glad they didn't. It seems more organic that she made the choice and she went through with it and she drew it into herself. This was not a forced thing, and I like it. Sorry, I'm the tired thing again, guys. I apologize. So again, hopefully you don't hear that. And I don't think it'll get too big. One, it's Iron Fist. Two, it happens so late in the season. And you still don't have the will they, won't they, even up to the last episode, where they do a good job of passing the baton to her. I think they did a good job on that. Again, subsequent viewings may, where I'm not sleep deprived, might change my mind, but I don't think so. I'm really hyped about it. Second thing, do you see what she's doing with her sword? She is channeling the power of the Iron Fist into her weapon. That is amazing. I've read plenty of Marvel comics. I had Marvel Unlimited, and I just went crazy on that. I've watched a lot of the cartoons and stuff throughout my whole life, and a couple of years ago, I was just like, I'm going to get Marvel Unlimited. And I watched a lot. Read a lot. Iron Fist is not something I've ever really run across except for New Avengers, and they didn't really deal with Iron Fist and his stuff. So I don't really know the lore of Iron Fist and Kunlun and all that. So I don't know if this is a thing in the comics. I don't know if they have anything about being able to pour the power of the Iron Fist into weapons. But it has been a thing that Danny Rand, with his utilization of the Iron Fist, has been extremely limited. I mean, he had to be told by Colleen Ween's mentor in season 1 that yes, you can heal with your chi. It's actually kind of a big thing at least in Marvel's Avengers Alliance. He could heal. He could heal your party. He's a healer. But he didn't know to do that in the series yet. So it's kind of cool to see the powers expanded upon. I really like this. Now, like I said, on to the last plot point. So I'm going to go back over here to this picture. In Luke Cage season 2, I didn't do a review or anything on it. Luke Cage was like a 10 out of 10 for me. I know I don't say numbers, but I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 if I had to put numbers to it, whatever. Up until the epilogue. And then they killed the whole season for me. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm not here to spoil Luke Cage season 2. But if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I did not like how he ended up at the end of season 2. They killed it in the epilogue. Now, in Iron Fist season 2, it was really the last, probably 30 seconds, I'll call it a last minute of the season. They killed it for me. Up until this last, not even the scene, this last part of the scene. Right up until that last part, I was having 10 out of 10 in terms of satisfaction with the series. Maybe not, a technical review of 10 out of 10, but for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it. After my first initial watching, I put this right up there with Daredevil season 1, Jessica Jones season 1, top 3 easily of Marvel Netflix seasons. But then this last minute happens. I don't actually have a screenshot of the problem, but I will just go here, guys. Yes, in the last minute of the season, as if it's epiloguing, as they're trying to find out where the corpse of a previous Iron Fist came from, they have a scene where it's like, okay, no, you're going to have to deal with him. And, Ward kind of passes the baton to Danny as, oh, okay, you want to fight me? No, you're going to fight him. And passes the baton. And all of a sudden, you're like, okay, he's going to go do his kung fu stuff or whatever. Okay, that's cool. All of a sudden, he gets up, pulls back his jacket, and he's got dual pistols. What? The Iron Fist is using guns? Obviously, something like that is... This is 616, by the way. This is from a 616. That is Marvel Prime, where you get all your major Spider-Man, X-Men, whatnot runs. This apparently is from the 616. And Iron Fist has used guns before. So maybe this is the inspiration for this. But they had Danny dual-wielding pistols. He pulls them out. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I mean, he doesn't have the Iron Fist anymore, so maybe in situations like this, he's going to turn to dual wielding. It could be really cinematic with the two guns and whatnot. And all of a sudden, somebody shoots a bullet at him. He goes into bullet time, where it's really slow. So you see the bullet moving. Danny puts both guns out, and all of a sudden his fists start glowing with the Iron Fist. You see the gun start to glow with the Iron Fist. And then he shoots 2 bullets at the one bullet. You see his 2 bullets come together and collide with the one bullet. Okay, I'm not a physics major, but that's going to create all kinds of weird problems. With ricochets and whatnot, especially when you got 3 bullets coming together at once. I don't even want to think of the implications. I'm not a physicist. But I have major problems with this. I have no idea. Like I said with the Halloween thing, I don't know if it's a thing in Iron Fist lore where they're able to put their power into their weapons. But last we see Danny before this scene, he didn't have the power of the Iron Fist any longer. Okay, so we went from having 1 Iron Fist in the whole show, 2 seasons. Well, the first season, right? And, Defenders and Luke Cage season 2. There's 1 Iron Fist. But all of a sudden, this one, it gets passed from Danny to Davos to Colleen. There's a bit of cognitive dissonance there where you're like, no, this is supposed to be something special. It shouldn't just be able to be stole and passed around and yada, yada, yada. But I was okay with it. The story and the plot, it worked. But then you come to this one, and all I could hear was Oprah. You get the power of the Iron Fist. You get the power of the Iron Fist. You get the power of the Iron Fist. Now, maybe Danny has learned to utilize his ki. Kind of like Dragon Ball, right? They can use their ki to do all kinds of fun stuff, right? Whereas, the Iron Fist gets this special power and he's able to so far do some stuff with it, right? But then I'm sitting there thinking, wait, he doesn't have the power of the Iron Fist. And even if okay, I'm sorry, guys. Tired brain, trying to go like 5 different bunny trails at the same time. So Danny does this thing, and like I said, it's the Oprah thing. Oprah problem, you and you and you and you. The problem is, even if in season 3 or season 2 of The Defenders or season 1 of Heroes for Hire, if they go that route, even if Danny learns how to use his ki better to where he doesn't need the heart of the dragon to do it anymore, I have major problems with this. I have major problems because you didn't set it up.
Sorry,
you
do
this thing.
I didn't touch my phone often enough and it went shut off on me. Okay, guys.
So again, as I was saying, the thing that bothers me is they did not set this up properly. Even if he goes and gets his powers, they didn't set it up, and it made it feel really really wonky for me. Like I said, it doesn't feel right that everybody should get the Iron Fist. Does that mean Ward's going to get it? Does that mean Joy's going to get it? Is he going to be able to train them to use their ki to do Iron Fist-like stuff? I don't know. I'm trying to think how much more I have to say about that. I could rant on that for a while. And it totally kind of ruins the whole season. Now, like I'm saying, now it seems like everybody's going to get the power of the Iron Fist. And where I had a whole story where the Iron Fist was passed around, like a blunt or something, like Seth Rogen and Elon Musk passing around their joint, right? And it's the, Heart of the Dragon getting passed around like that. That could feel really wonky, and it didn't in season. Then all of a sudden, in the last 30 seconds or minute of your season, you add that to it. I'm looking back at that and I'm like, wait, was that really as good as I remember? And it casts major doubt. They should not have added that to the season. They should not have added that to the season. They should have gone to Danny and Danny stand up like he's going to take care of it and then cut scene. Do not show those pistols. Or maybe even show the pistols. Who cares about the pistols? But the channeling of the Iron Fist or something similar was really bad form. Really bad form, Netflix. But anyway, guys, that's my initial thoughts. This is going to be almost 40 minutes long. And I apologize that I wasn't able to get this out more concisely. Maybe I'll do a more thorough review after I take a nap here. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that. I really enjoyed it, even with that last little bit of immersion shattering stuff going on. Really good. I highly recommend it. Just cut out about a minute as they go months later, and they cut to Ward getting water at the bar. Just turn off that last episode, and you'll be fine. I really enjoyed it. I really did. All right, guys, I got to get this edited together and uploaded. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be in bed at about 7 and my nephew's going to come over. Oh boy. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys next time. All right, guys. Bye.